Hello, and welcome to Ask John. Usually I start off telling you what number episode this is, but I've lost track. We're at 15, 16, maybe 17, and that just tells you how much I'm enjoying this. I have been having a great time interviewing interesting people in the community. And the show is called Ask John. I think you noticed that. Oh, and by the way, I'm John Reuscher. And the show is called Ask John, but no one's asking John anything anymore. We sort of switched it around, and the show was conceived with the idea that people would come on and ask John some financial questions. But John, anyway, I have had such a great time interviewing people. I just love to ask the questions. So I've considered changing the name of the show and call it John Asks, but that doesn't sound so good. And so it's going to be Ask John, and this is going to be another exception where John is going to be asking the questions. And I have a very interesting guest this evening, this afternoon, this morning, whenever you're watching it, I don't know. Cheryl Paddack from the North Marin Community Services is here, and she's going to tell us a little bit about why she got into the work that she's in, and she's going to tell us more about the community services program. Cheryl Paddack is the CEO of North Marin Community Services. Cheryl, how long have you been in this work?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me, John. And I want to ask you a lot about yourself, but I won't. I'll focus on what you're asking me. So I've been with the Nevada Youth Center for 10 years. And last year, the Nevada Youth Center and Nevada Human Needs Center merged on January 1st, 2018, and we became North Marin Community Services. So I've been with that nonprofit for 10 years, and prior to that, my whole life has been in service of community. I started out, actually, I'm Canadian, and I'm from Victoria, British Columbia, and I started out initially working in tourism. And after that, I worked for the federal government doing environmental cleanup grants.
The federal government. Which federal government did you work for?
Well, the Canadian.
The Canadian federal government.
The branch was called Indian and Northern Affairs. It was up in the Yukon and right near Alaska, in a town called Whitehorse. So that was actually a really memorable time living in that part of the country. It was beautiful. And so after working on environmental cleanup grants, I returned to Vancouver and worked for energy efficient products and services with BC Hydro, which is the large hydroelectric company there. And following the immigration, I ended up here in Marin County and initially working for Guide Dogs for the Blind.
Oh.
Yeah, helping the visually impaired. I worked there for 8 years. And now I've been with this wonderful nonprofit for the past 10 years.
So I enjoyed you coming to my Rotary Club a few weeks ago. It's been a few months now, I think. You came to I'm a member of the Rotary Club of Novato Sunrise,
right.
And we meet early on Tuesday mornings, and you came and made a presentation, and then I asked you to come to the show, and this will be a different kind of presentation. I've enjoyed visiting with you for the last hour or so, kind of getting to know each other.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And the thing that I love about Rotary and the motto of service above self is it reminds me of, just the foundation that my family laid for me when I was young. And, my dad started a jazz festival. My mom was in Girl Scouts. Both of them were in the JCs and JCettes. So from a young age, really understanding that the importance of giving back to community, neighbor helping neighbor so that we can all succeed. And so initially I thought I was going to work in the for-profit business and in marketing.
Ah.
And
what field in marketing were you interested in?
Well, tourism, which
tourism,
was where I started. But as my career advanced, and I just landed here in the right place for me, and I feel that this community of Novato is so wonderful. The way in which service clubs and private and public sector partners work together for the better of community. I've never seen anything like it. And in fact, we get calls all the time from people who say, what is so special about Novato? Because we hear so many things are going right. We had an amazing successes with the Novato Blue Ribbon Coalition for Youth in reducing underage drinking, because again, it was a great example of city, school district, and nonprofits like ours coming together, channeling all our resources into one specific area so that we can make a tremendous difference.
So you were telling me a little bit about why you gravitated toward community service, and because of your family background, and
right.
so far you gave your parents a lot of kudos.
I do. I'm very fortunate, and I think in the work that we do, we have this amazing opportunity to inspire the next generation of people, and those millennials, they have a different way of giving back, and so how do we engage people in what they're best at? And so that, to me, right now with our nonprofit, we serve 5,500 people a year through 3 different program areas that I hope we can have a chance to talk about.
Yeah, so we'll have a chance to talk about all of that. You came in and I was very familiar back in those days when there was the Novato Youth Center.
Right,
and
right.
before it was the Novato Youth Center, was it the Boys Club?
It was.
It started off as something else though.
Yeah, initially it was the Novato Boys Club, then it was the Novato Boys and Girls Club,
right.
And then Novato Youth Center in 1976.
And so when did you come into that picture?
10 years ago.
10 years
Yeah.
ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then a year ago, the Novato Human Needs program merged with the Youth Center program.
Right. And some people think, well, how could these 45-year grassroots organizations come together in a way that's going to make a difference? And I think that's been the biggest and most compelling reason that people are really engaged in what's happening in our nonprofit now, because not only are 5,500 people receiving services, but they're receiving more in-depth services. All of the programs that many people know through Novato Youth Center, so our early childhood education program, our preschool, our counseling program, our after-school programming, that's the reason that we started, so that youth could have a safe place to be after school. All of those programs still exist. And now we launched case management services, and that actually was the connection point for the Youth Center and Novato Human Needs Center to start the discovery of the merger conversations.
So the case management is that's sort of like the intake process, and you're saying that is the nexus between the Youth Center and the Novato Human Needs. So people come in. You were talking about how people come in through any door.
Right.
Yeah.
We call it no wrong door. So
wrong door.
There's no wrong door to receive services. So whether you come through the food pantry, every Tuesday we have a food pantry and serve hundreds of people a week through that service, or they may come through mental health counseling or subsidized childcare. So basically, there's no wrong door. We want to be open to all, which is our new vision statement, is opportunities for all, and we just want to ensure that whether we connect people to other services or we deliver them ourselves, that people know we're here and that we will help them find services. And so
I'm very interested in that in the merger, because I think that you put the word out way ahead of time, and it seemed to me that was probably the best planned merger ever. That was my perspective, so I'm curious what your perspective is, and I'm wondering now, we're a year past that, and is it just kind of like old news to you now, or are there still some bugs that you're working out? How's that working out?
It's working out really well. I think that a lot of people saw exactly what you're just saying. They saw, all of a sudden the signs changed, the name changed, the website changed. What they didn't see is the hundreds of hours that went behind the scenes to plan this merger. And we had amazing funders like the Marin Community Foundation, the Peter E. Haas Jr. Family Fund, and other people who stepped forward and said, we believe in this vision and we will invest and help you get there. And so that is one of the reasons why we were successful, is people believed in the vision, and the dedication of our board of directors and staff and volunteers, because those hundreds of hours of planning, I'm glad it looked easy from the public view, because internally it was a lot of work. And
yeah, I'm not sure it looked easy, but I can tell you it looked really, really well organized.
Oh, well, that's
good. It looked
good.
Totally planned. It didn't look easy, but it looked totally planned.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
I will take that back to the office.
Yeah. And I remember being at the luncheon and hearing everyone got up and talked about. So many people came up and talked about how it was planned.
Right.
And people did talk about the challenges, and there were lots of challenges. I can't. You can tell me what they all were, but I just remember there were a lot of challenges, and I was just amazed at how everyone seemed to be content with it and optimistic that it was going to work, and apparently it has.
It has.
It is working.
You know, and you think about, you know, a place where you've worked that you love and why you love it. And it's really about being in a culture where you feel like you can succeed, and whether it be our staff or our volunteers or our clients, that is the reason that the merger was successful, is because our organizations came together with a vision. And we knew that if we could make it work, that we would help more people in our community. And so that's really what's happened, is we are providing much more comprehensive services now in a more effective way. Our back office and front office functions have come together. We have two buildings, one at the 680 Wilson Avenue and the other at the 1907 Nevada Boulevard. And then we also have a teen clinic, which is at the Marin Community Clinics on Redwood Boulevard. And then in addition, we have mental health counseling on 8 of the school sites, and then Latino leadership program.
So what does that mean when you have mental health counseling at school sites? Does that mean that it's covered under your budget, or is it covered under the school district budget, or how do you share that financial responsibility?
Yeah, it's a good question. Basically, the school districts across California are very fortunate to receive LCAP, LCFF, local control funding, formula funding, to support mental health counseling. And so we're a contractor of the school district, and we receive funding from them, and it covers a portion of the cost. And then we go out to the community and raise the remaining portion, because we all know that social emotional health of youth is critical. And if you look at the California Healthy Kids Survey now, you'll see that all of the stats have changed. So and I'm talking about middle school statistics in particular. So there's more kids struggling with depression, with anxiety, with substance use, being home alone, their parents are working. And so how do we support these kids and develop the coping skills that they need to be successful in life? And that's really where the social, emotional, and the academic partnership with the Nevada Unified School District is so critical, and they bring in partners like us and a few others to support school sites in the needs of the students.
So you have counselors at the school sites, and they are your employees.
Yes.
They're so the employees of your program.
Yeah.
And then the schools contract with your program to provide those services for their students.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we also have.
And that's another example of how this community works together so well.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we have if you know anyone in need of mental health services, we also have a full clinic at the Wilson building, and it's low cost, $30 a session. So people can call in to our confidential line, speak to a counselor, and sign up for services. And it's often cheaper than their copay, their medical copay. And so, if you could help us get out the word, whether it be, through your networks, through the service clubs that you're involved with,
and we're doing that right now. We are, yeah.
Right, and so for people listening, if you want to help be ambassadors of our work, we would love for you to visit our website at northmarincs.org. And also refer people to services. And on our website, there's a lot of descriptions about what we do, and we also encourage you to sign up for our e-newsletter.
Okay. You got your pitch in there, and we'll put that up on the screen. That may have already be, you may be already seeing it right now, but if not, it'll be at the end. So watch the rest of the video here. I'm just looking at these programs that we printed this out, and programs for the entire family. So I think you want to talk about this.
We do.
Child development, early childhood education.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people, you hear about self-sufficiency, And in Novato, a third of our residents are below the self-sufficiency level. So what that means is a third of the people that live here, Novato has over 50,000 people, they need some kind of assistance in order to meet basic needs. So that would be housing, food, and childcare.
And how is that different from the poverty level?
It's a different rating. So
is it higher or lower?
Yeah, poverty is a bit lower than self-sufficiency.
And then it's regional, I imagine.
Right.
Yeah. So
So
self-sufficiency might be a higher level in Marin than it would be in Utah or someplace else.
Well, exactly, because the cost of housing is so high. And so housing is the highest cost in the family home, and the second highest cost is childcare for working families. So that's why we pride ourselves on providing low-cost childcare services to low, middle, and high-income families, because we know that in order to work, families need childcare. And that's one. So you think about, well, is Novato Youth Center, are their services still around? And what happened, post-merger, and all of those services still exist. So we didn't close one program through the merger because through the recession we had already pared down and made things as effective as we could. And it was like a beautiful puzzle that we completed because our services perfectly fit with Novato Human Needs Services.
I was glad to hear that nothing got lost, because as you know, I was involved in some minor way with the Novato Youth Center years ago, because I was involved with the Novato Youth Soccer Association, and we helped the youth center put together this indoor soccer program, which was just a lot of fun. And so I'm a little familiar with the youth center, and it's nice to hear that didn't really go away. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you asked about our services.
Yeah.
We have 3 areas, and in our child development programs, we serve 300 people a year, and that ranges from ages 6 weeks all the way through to 14. Under our health and wellness programs, there's 1,800 people who receive services, and that ranges from the mental health counseling that we were just talking about, and then our teen clinic, which is at the Marin Community Clinics on Redwood Boulevard, and then we have indoor soccer and Zumba, because we know physical and mental health are just as much of a priority for people.
And way back in those days, it was sort of an after-school drop-in thing, and I imagine that still is going on. There's probably a greater need for that now than ever.
Yeah, we still have our after-school program, and we have 8 vans that transport to and from school,
very nice.
And our healthy meal program. That's actually, if you were to ask me what's our biggest funding need, that would be, one of them would be our healthy food program. So we're always looking for people to support that program. And within the early childhood education and school age, we offer healthy breakfast, lunch, and after-school snack, and because we know that kids need.
So that's where you need the most help.
It is there, and mental health counseling.
And I don't want this moment to pass without mentioning, I believe that my Rotary Club helped buy one of the vans that you have.
You did, thank you.
Yeah, okay, good. You're welcome.
And then the other,
our pleasure. Yeah.
And then if you come to visit, and would love for you to come for a tour, we have a new stage that Rotary Club of Ignacio built for us.
Nice.
And so we have great partnerships with all the Rotary clubs. It's really happy about that.
Yeah, no, it's a wonderful community in a lot of ways.
And then our last program area is family and community engagement. So 3,400 people are served through that, and we talked earlier about No Wrong Door and the case management programs. And case management, one of the reasons that Human Needs started 45 years ago was their holiday share program, and just making sure that low-income families have the benefit of the holiday season. And so that actually grew to include rental assistance, the food pantry, there's financial literacy that happens, and as you know, as a financial planner, that's extremely important for people to understand. And so those programs, in addition to our Thriving Families Initiative, which is a 2-year program that parents can take with their children, and in order to strengthen the family bonds, the parenting skills, and there's a lot of other pieces to that program that will help them move from crisis to stability and success. And then our last case management program is Amigos, where we help families who have experienced some sort of abuse in the family, and they're they're on the other side and want to succeed, and our case managers will go in to the home and really provide that support that they need and the parenting skills in order to move forward and succeed. And then within our Latino Leadership Program, we have what's called a Promotores program, and really looking at what are the needs of our growing Latino community here, what kind of leadership and training can we help in order for people to succeed, whether it be connecting to mental health services or connecting to services that already exist. And so the Promotores will go out and actually work with their neighbors and hold in-home conversations, like they're called cafecitos, where cafecitos.
Okay.
Yeah, and they'll just talk about what are the needs, and underage drinking. How do we ensure that kids know that there's a social host ordinance in town, that if there's alcohol at a family gathering, to put it away where kids can't access it. And so we have a lot of training that we provide to Latino leaders who pass this information on to their families in order to build more of a community of support.
So we have this video that we want to show, and this video was actually produced right here in this studio by the Novato community TV station. That's where we are now. And we're going to play this video, which tells more about, let's see if I can make this happen. There we go.
Welcome to North Marin Community Services. On January 1st, 2018, the Nevada Youth Center and Nevada Human Needs Center merged to become North Marin Community Services. We're a nonprofit organization that serves 4,800 youth, families, adults, and seniors annually. We have 60 staff and over 300 volunteers who donate 10,000 hours a year. You'll hear about our programs and how we make a difference to those we serve. And we look forward to telling you more.
Here at the Nevada Boulevard Center, we offer several services. For example, on Tuesdays, we have a food bank in the afternoons, which serves many people, seniors and immigrants, who are also people who are either already our case management clients or become case management clients. They may be people who are interested in really increasing their self-sufficiency. So through our Thriving Families initiative, they may work with one of our case managers to look at how they can fit in education or vocational programs, budgeting, job support services, and really grow to a place where they are no longer needing assistance.
Our Latino Outreach Program, the Promotores program of the North Marin Community Services, it's a great program to improve the involvement and give a voice to the Latino community.
The clinics we run, one is right here. The teen clinic is free services, health and wellness, and one is for parent-child interactive therapy.
So here at North Marin Community Services, we have a child development program that serves children from 12 months all the way up to 14 years of age. So we have the early childhood education, we have the school age, and we also have middle school. So in the early childhood education department, we focus on the developmental stages of the children so that when they enter kindergarten, they are ready to learn and succeed in school. So in the school age department, we have a program that has a group of teachers that focuses on supporting the children with the academic piece and also with the social emotional piece. We also provide healthy foods for all of our children in the morning with breakfast, in the afternoon with lunch, and afternoon with snack. In addition to all of the academic support that we give our children, we also provide transportation to and from the schools.
We are fortunate to have a strong board of directors and finance committee who bring a wealth of experience here at the North Marin Community Services. We have clean audits through Goranson & Associates. Our dedicated staff diligently manage their program budgets every year.
Our organization is sustainable and serves effective programs because of the generosity of so many. We have a diversified budget and rely on contributions from individuals such as yourselves to help fund our operations. Your gifts make a tremendous impact to those we serve, especially our most vulnerable. Together, we help them have hope for their futures, to be successful at home, at school, at work, and in the community. Thank you for choosing to support us.
That was wonderful. It's an amazing program that you have, and I'm assuming you have this this video on your website.
We do.
Yeah, excellent.
It's called Hope, and,
Okay.
and that's what we feel that we do for a lot of people, is just really provide hope for their futures.
Yeah, and I'm interested. You have a whole lot of client stories, and I'm just going to pick one and read just one of them.
That'd be great.
And the client story is Youth Enrichment Program, elementary school. A fourth grader in our program had been displaying a variety of challenging behaviors, including a lack of empathy, low self-esteem, and suffering grades at school. Her behavior was making it difficult for her to form friendships and connections. Through Second Step, a social emotional evidence-based curriculum used weekly throughout the school year, her NMCS teacher was able to help the student work through these challenges, helping her to handle accusations, manage disappointment, find empathy with others, show compassion, and take on leadership roles. The program created fluid communication with the child's parents, ensuring consistency between NMCS and home. I can say that 3 times fast. And home, and allowing the child to find confidence, build friendships, and work through challenges. She is now a confident student who is eager to help others. The Second Step curriculum is offered as part of our program and will support many more youth this coming year. Cheryl, this is just one story of thousands, and it's been such a delight to talk to you. And the one thing that I'm getting the most from you is your sense of pride over this program that you manage, and just tell me about that. How do you feel about your program?
Well, obviously, I feel very proud, and for me and anyone listening, and for you, I mean, I just encourage all of us to do what we love, and to think about the work that, you know, being in a workplace that aligns with our values. And for me, my values are community and connection and service. And so I know that I'm in the right place because it's complete value alignment. And so thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate you being here and helping us spread the good word of North Marin Community Services.
I'm so glad you joined us, and I hope that you come back someday.
Thank you.
Okay, you're always welcome.
I'd love to.
And thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Till then.